Alright, so I'm just going to do a quick walk around on my 2022 Ioniq 5 SEL trim, rear wheel drive only. I bought this in July of 2022, so I've had it now for about 8 months. I'm at 12,800 miles on it. Been really happy with the car, except for just a few quibbles. And we'll start with the obvious one we see here. So when I picked up the car, this rear panel was dented. It appeared to be dented, and I found a shard of broken glass in the hatchback. So I immediately brought it up with the dealer, and we went back and forth a little bit. They wanted to try paintless dent removal. We tried it, but we found that this panel is plastic, not metal. So we couldn't PDR it. So in August of 2022, my dealer ordered a replacement panel. Got a call, I think it was in January, and they said, hey, the panel came in, it's unpainted, so we need to paint it. Great. Just today, end of March, I had it installed, but it didn't come with an emblem. So I'm waiting for the dealer to get an emblem to slap it on there and call it good. It's been a journey. I reached out to Hyundai customer service and they haven't responded to me, so I guess that's a low priority issue. But the paintwork's not outstanding. You probably can't pick it up in this video. Well, maybe you can. There's a few imperfections here. There's a divot up here by my finger. A few more imperfections over here. Really orange peely, and a pretty big splatter right here on the edge. So I'll have to try to take care of it myself. I don't think I want to go back to the dealer for this type of work. Body looks great otherwise. Paint's fantastic. I've been using Turtle Wax Hybrid Solutions products on this whole car, from the tires to the body to even the interior. I've been using their inside job and I think it's done a great job. So speaking of the interior, next problem I had was my steering wheel started making a creaking noise when I turned it. So I took that into the dealer and they diagnosed it and said, hey, we'll order a part for it. I want to say that was also in the August time frame. And end of February or early February, late January, I got a call it was ready. So I took it in and they changed out the entire steering column assembly with the stalks, the interior parts, the clock spring, everything. They changed it all out. I was excited. I got the car back, and first thing I noticed, and you can see it in another one of my videos, all of the stalks were wobbly. All of them. The gear shift selector, the headlights, the wiper, they were all wobbling around and loose. So that's the reason I took it in today, and after a little back and forth and demonstrating on a showroom vehicle, I was able to get them to understand, and they repaired that, which is great. But coincidentally, around the same time I had that fixed, or attempted to fix the first time, my rear USB port stopped working on me. And, they light up when the vehicle's on. Let's see if they still do after taking it in for service. Oh, well, maybe not. Yeah, there's a little bit of light in there. I don't know if you can pick it up, but they're lighting up, but they're not functioning when you plug a charger into them. So the dealer troubleshot it, they looked at it, they said none of the fuses were blown, and so as a solution, they've ordered a new assembly. So hopefully that fixes it when I take it in. It's impeding one of the main benefits of this car, which is fantastic rear seat, great road trip vehicle with the kids. Got the SEL, so it has these nice air vents here. But the kids can't plug their stuff in now when we're on a road trip, so hopefully that gets fixed soon. One of the other issues I've run into, and I've heard complaints about this from others too, is rattling, right? The car's quiet, so you hear the rattles inside a lot more, and I found I've got really three major zones they come from. The first one is seatbelts. So if you don't have the seatbelts twisted the right way with this little pad up against the body, then they rattle badly. Next one I found was the hatch really rattles around. So initially I tried adjusting these pads up here on the hatch, but that didn't really cut it for me. So I ended up using some felt tape right back here and putting it on these bump stops. And that's really cut down on a lot of the rattling. You can even see the impression from where the hatch bumps up against it. So I may need to fine tune this, maybe add a little more or clean it up somehow, but that's working for me. So felt tape also came to the rescue with this neat automated powered charge port door. So when I first got the car, it did not function. Couldn't press it hard enough to get it to open. So one of the first things I did, first week I had the car, I took some felt tape and put it on the little nub down here. This nub actually impacts this button, so there's no capacitive touch or anything on this door. It just pushes against this when you give it a press from outside. But the way it's designed, this nub doesn't impact this button enough. So I was able to just put that felt tape on there and make it work. I had one other spot where felt tape came in handy, and that was on this rattly passenger door card. I noticed when I was driving that the passenger door was rattling, and if I pulled on this while driving, I just gave it a little tension, it actually resolved that rattle. So I ended up putting some felt tape along here. Can't see it, it's on the inside there. But that fixed the passenger door rattle. And the very last issue I've had pop up is I got a check electric vehicle system, check engine light. Came up this past weekend, and the manual says don't drive the car, take it to the dealer immediately. Well, I had to get home, so I drove it home. Everything seemed to be functioning fine, only a couple miles to get home. And I got it back in the garage, and the driver's side cooling flap here was not actuating. So the passenger one would open and close, but the driver one was just staying stuck closed. So I ended up gently pushing it to the open position and left the car overnight on the charger. And when I got in the morning, everything worked great. So hopefully that holds up. The dealer was unable to find a stored diagnostic code. They didn't know what was going on, so they haven't done anything with it yet. Here's hoping that doesn't pop up again. So I'll tell you, I love this vehicle. I would be in the market for an Ioniq 7 in a heartbeat when that comes out, if Hyundai can just get their stuff together with these imperfections. I mean, this is inexcusable. How do you send someone home from the dealer with $48,000 less than a year old car with a piece of tape over the emblem location on the back? How do you send someone home from the dealer with a gear shift lever and stalks that are flopping all over the place? I mean, they were moving this much without actuating anything. The whole thing was moving around on me. It's just disappointing to see that type of issue. But Hyundai, if you get that stuff together, if you get your dealer network on board, I shouldn't get a diagnostic multi-point inspection from the dealer that says that my fluid levels are good, my oil levels are good on an electric vehicle that doesn't have motor oil, right? So if you get all that right, you guys will hit a home run. I mean, you will be successful where Tesla and Honda and a lot of the other legacy manufacturers are gonna strike out. I'll tell you now. If you look at the BZ4X next to one of these, there is no comparison. There's no excuse to buy a BZ4X when you can get one of these guys. So thanks for watching. Feel free to ask any questions about my experience, but I tell you, other than these headaches and the hours I've blown going to and from the dealer, this has been an amazing, life-changing vehicle. And I'm looking forward to the future.